All right, welcome back to All Hitches, Nova's #1 football podcast. All right, Coach Mesa, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Happy early part of the week to you. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're almost there, right? We're almost there.
Yeah, buddy. So we are live tonight, baby. Live and ready to go.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I've already got some people on here already. We already got some people join us already, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You know what? The live shows have been fun, and I figured it was a good idea, right, to kind of go live for the playoffs, kind of kick things off the right way.
Yeah, no,
Got the live chat thing on, and I'm not looking at Twitter or anything, so I don't really know what's said on there.
I I am on Twitter right now, so I am currently see that on there. Yeah, man, uh, November's going by fast, isn't it?
November, yeah. I mean, look, we're one full. We got this week, obviously, and then one full week away, and then start getting that turkey brined, my friend. Start getting that turkey brined.
So I think I told you before. Me and my family, we stopped doing the turkey for Thanksgiving. I know I've told you before. We talked about this before. We do prime rib for Thanksgiving.
Look, you know where I stand. I'm a prime rib guy. You know that about me. I'm not just saying that. Anyone who knows me, I mean, arteries are clogged. Love that stuff. Um, I hate turkey. Actually, I'm not a huge turkey guy. I should say I hate it. I'm
Yeah,
not a big turkey guy. But I feel like it's sacrilege. Can you do both? How about you go get one of those Popeyes turkeys, the Popeye Cajun ones? They're pre-cooked. Throw them in the
so
oven.
so I've thought about doing that. I heard they are just really dry. I heard they're
I got it one
really
year. It
dry.
wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
No,
No, I
now
like the Cajun spice.
I thought about getting it and then deep frying that turkey, deep frying the Popeyes turkey.
That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, but then I'm scared I'm gonna light my house on fire because you always see those pictures of people who uh, drop the turkey into the thing, and all of a sudden they don't have a home. So that scares me a little bit.
That's a fear that could happen. Yeah, you gotta be. You don't be one of those guys.
Yeah,
Don't do it on the back wooden deck or anything like that.
yeah. Uh, and also we're getting close to Coach Dash's Merry Volley Days.
We love a little happy holidays and volleyball.
And
Nothing goes.
anybody knows it is a tradition at Woodson that Coach Dash does volleyball for his first winter unit and plays the Christmas music for the kids.
Put
It
on
is it is
97.1. You put on 97.1. Let the radio take over. Let the radio take over. Which, by the way, 97.1 kicks off its holiday music starting on Friday. And
on Friday.
that's when it starts. I told you, 97. When you start drinking eggnog, start doing all that stuff. Come Friday.
Yeah, you're playing volleyball. Meanwhile, I'm teaching inflation and deflation tomorrow, lecturing. You know what's crazy is like they tell you all the time, hey, don't lecture and give worksheets to kids, man. They hate it. So for the first quarter in my economics class, we've done projects, group presentations, and brochures, and all kinds of interesting things. The kids told me, you know what? We'd rather you just lecture and give us worksheets. That's what they asked for.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild that they were like,
Getting
yeah,
ready for college. That's what college is all about, right? Lecturing and I'll tell you what, you're doing inflation and deflation. So can you talk about like Tom Brady, the footballs and stuff?
that's actually that's what all we're going to talk about. I'm going to make everything football related. I'm going to
You
talk about
definitely should.
deflation.
You definitely
Yeah,
should.
inflation and deflation. Yeah,
Well,
I know.
well, speaking of inflation and deflation, we're going to inflate things, baby. We got something. Amin, my man, there he is. Amin, how you guys doing? Man? We're doing great, Amin. Thanks, buddy. Um, we got a great show tonight. This is something that Mason and I have been talking about for a while. We're excited about it. We're going to go over all the games. And then we're going to talk about our All Hitches Conference Awards. All district awards.
First ever, the first ever.
Yeah.
When you get this award, you can look back and tell your grandkids, you know what? I was the first ever award winner on the All Hitches podcast.
No doubt about it. No
Th-
doubt
these
about it.
uh these all district awards, these all regional awards, these all Mets, nothing.
No, this is what matters. This is what matters.
It is what matters.
So we're gonna get into it right away, man. Let's start talking about these games because there's some phenomenal games coming up.
Oh yeah, I mean these games. It would be a little surprising if one or two of these teams lose, but it wouldn't be a total shocker. Oh, I can't believe lost. I think every game is a competitive game. I don't see one game over there where you're like, I don't know about that
I,
game.
I agree with you 100%. So let's get into it right now, buddy. Let's get into it right now. We're gonna start talk about. We're gonna go 1 seed versus 8 seed. Let's go top down. 1 seed, 8 seed. Lake Braddock. We got some rematches, by the way. Lake Braddock
Yeah,
Robinson rematch from week 11.
yeah. And they always say it's always tough to beat a team twice, and it's really tough to beat a team twice on a back to back. I mean, just a week ago, I mean, you were talking about a one score game in the third quarter. You have you have old rivals going at it, kids who know each other. I
Right.
mean, it should be pretty exciting. Essentially, all you did was you looked at last week's film and like, okay, what did they do against us? How am I going to adjust myself? So I think it's gonna be interesting in that regard. And you have some interesting and also I know there's reports that Ty Jackson is out there throwing the football. So is he going to fight? Is Daniel Lewis going to play? Is Mr. Miyagi going back there and got his hand
Yeah.
warm?
Coach,
Uh,
Coach Gall doing the hand thing. I like that. I like that. That's a good reference right there.
yeah. But they're going to try to build on things they're successful for. I mean, it's really weird playing a game too on a back to back like that. I don't think I've ever played a team the next week after playing them for the first time. So, I'm curious what the thought process is when you go into it. Do you kind of build off of what you just did? I mean, 'cause you literally just saw them,
Right.
and
Right.
you know kind of where your weaknesses and where your strengths are against them. But it should be an interesting matchup. Robinson got in, returned back to the playoffs. Oh no, they got in last year. I'm sorry. Did they get in last year?
Robinson was not a playoff team last year.
They're not a playoff team last year. So returning though to the playoffs, right? Returning
Yes,
returning
definitely returning.
returning to the playoffs. So yeah, it should be a good matchup.
Now, the interesting part here, on top of them playing last week, was a couple things. One, obviously, it is the rematch. Two, remember this is it's the Hayfield bump, right? So we wouldn't have seen this match otherwise. It would not have been a rematch.
No, no.
So that's interesting. Third, watching that game, you and I were watching this game, and we were talking on the phone, and we were texting each other while the game was on, and Robinson answered him.
Yeah,
Bradley would come down score, Robinson would answer. Bradley would come
yeah,
down score. Ty Jackson did play in the game.
yeah.
He got in the mix a little bit, working some of the rust off. It's going to be interesting to see can Robinson do that again? Can they answer? Can they go toe to toe
Right.
with him? Right? Because that's what happened last time. They stood in the middle of the ring throwing punches.
Yeah, and last game there wasn't a lot of pressure on Bragg to win. They wanted to win or lose. They were going to be the one seed. Now, actually, there is going to be some pressure on them, right? It's not going to be okay working guys in, working guys out. Guys are going to play. Now they're going to get a full go of it on the week to get ready for to take on Robinson.
Right, and the Scaparetto twins look good. They threw the ball. They had a good game throwing the ball in that game.
I thought they looked
Dan,
successful. They looked really successful running the ball too. I thought they had some success running the football as well
I
against
mean,
them.
they were able to score a lot of points in that game.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so I mean, they're not normally that kind of a team, and like I said, it was a back and forth game. They lost by a touchdown,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
had the ball at the end of the game.
Well, I think it was two scores. I think it ended up being. I thought it ended up being a two-score game. I thought they pulled away and got. I could be wrong. Let me go the
I
good
got it
old.
right here. I got it right here.
Okay.
Hang on. I thought it was a one-score game, and one-score game.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
28-35. And Robo had the ball at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And they had a couple cracks at it at the end. So I'm looking forward to this one. Again, I would imagine that MGM has probably had Braddock as a favorite.
Oh, I mean, you're the one seed. You're the
One
one
seed,
seed.
eight
I mean,
seed, right? And second time they play, this is one of those where you could see, you could see it, where Braddock pulls away this time,
yeah,
or Robinson's got some stuff, some tricks, waiting for him. You never
right.
know. I mean,
Well,
his
that and you have a chance to be like, okay, if there's a trick play I can get off, it's this one because I just saw how they reacted against my offense.
right.
So I mean, are they going to go with the good old JV coach Dash? Maybe open up with a trick play on him. No,
I
knowing
like that.
that they can get him.
I wish more people would do that. Matter of fact, I just got the phone with Aiden, with my son, and did you see that clip of Jim Harbaugh at the end of the game? Well, not the end of the game, but on that fourth down this past week with the Chargers.
I didn't.
I guess it was fourth and short, and he calls, Herbert over, and he's like, they're talking about it, and Herbert said, "We got to run it here." He said, "I got you." He said, "We're gonna run it. We're gonna run it." He said, "But real quick," he's like, "Make it like we're talking about throwing the ball." And Herbert's like, "All right, we're gonna do one of these. You're gonna, run the alley." Oh my God! And Harbaugh's like, "Yeah. I'll run that way, run that way." He's like, "We're gonna throw this way," and they're making all these freaking hand signals. And then they go and they run the ball and they get the first down. And Aiden's like, "That's the kind of stuff that you used to do all the time." That back when I coached him, like, when he was younger and stuff, we would
Yeah,
always do that kind of stuff. On calling a timeout, youth league and then
yeah,
growing up. So it was. I love Harbaugh. I know a lot of people who don't like Michigan might not like him, but he's just a fun coach. When you said that, it made me think of that.
yeah. Yeah, so it should be good. I mean, and really, like we talked about before, all these matches are pretty intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't beat a nice, good old fashioned rematch of a rival. I mean, these are
A rival.
these are. I mean, this is turf wars, baby. Like we said before, and now we mean it. You want to go to Kohl's? You want to go shopping at Kohl's before the holidays and buy stocking stuffers? You want to go to TJ Maxx?
A
You want
little
to go
to DQ right there by the Walmart. You want to go
That's
get yourself
right. You want to go to Chick-fil-A and Burger? Man, you got to win this game. You need to win this game.
Yes, sir.
Right. I love it. All right. 4 versus 5 seed. Now, this is the game that you love. This is your favorite game of the week or one of them. Another rematch. Westpo, SoCo. What do you got?
Well, I mean, think about this. Their last 2 games have come down to the last essentially was the last play of the game.
Right.
Last second field goal. Year before in the playoffs was a goal line stand. These are 2 teams that seem to play each other pretty well. Knows about and traditionally, right, your 4 or 5 matchup is going to be your best matchup because those are the 2 teams that are probably about as evenly matched as you can get.
Sure.
But South County, is my understanding, right, is that they have to go back to. I mean, think about this though. Westpo just 2.5 weeks ago was holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
And now they're the 4 seed. They host a home playoff game. I mean, you have called them. They are the hottest team. They're hottest team right now. I mean, they're on a 4-game win streak.
All in 1 week. All 4 games were in 1 week.
In 1 week. Yeah. So it should be a pretty interesting matchup. But you have an old veteran coach in Coach Pannoni, who I know has got to be just kind of going through and look at what went wrong last time. And that's the other thing on the rematch, right? Is when you are the team that wins or the team that loses, you now can look at, okay, what did we do wrong? How can we adjust? When the team that wins, you're like, okay, this is what we did well. What is going to be my counterpunch? What's going to be my counterpunch? Because they're going to make an adjustment to what went wrong last time.
Yeah, and I mean, man, 40-yard field goal, something like 35, 40
Yeah,
yard field goal.
yeah. I mean, it was not a high school chip shot.
No,
I mean, there are no real high school chip shots to begin with, but
right.
Yeah.
And there's not even an NFL chip shot. I saw KC get a kick blocked, or I saw KC win off a block. That was a 35-yard field goal there.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're right. There is no gimmies, and I just feel like that this Westpo team. We talked about them in the preseason.
Yeah.
And we really felt like they had the tools, they had the talent to make a run, and it was kind of one of these things where we were like, man, what happened to them? We'd kind of forgotten about it. Let's just say it like it is. I think everybody had forgotten about it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the last 4 games, all in 1 week or 10 days. Now, this is the Westpo team that we had talked about in August.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All right, that's going to be a fun one. Can't wait for that one. And I think Mesa will be having an eye on that one. All right. All right. Some of the 2-7 matchup and the 3-6, I think kind of the opposite of the 4-5. I think you probably got MGM probably has some big monopoly spreads on this one. We got West Springfield and the upstarts from Edison.
Yeah, but West Springfield, if you think West Potomac costs, West Springfield is also, pretty high as well. Edison was able to get in the playoffs. They would have been they're the 7th seed, right? Correct.
They
They're the
would have been the
7th
eight.
seed.
They got the bump.
They got the bump from Hayfield being eliminated from the playoffs. It should be interesting. Edison back in the playoffs again after I'm sure, while not satisfied with just getting in, there was some doubt, how they're going to next year, but they were getting the playoffs, and they would have got in regardless of what happened with Hayfield. They would have got in
Yes.
and been that eight seed. But West Springfield is right now running on all cylinders. It seems like they've found some answers on offense. They got that offense going, and it's going to be an uphill climb for sure for Edison. But congratulations to Edison getting in.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they graduated. They had a great run last year. Graduated a ton of seniors. People had their doubts, and they were able to qualify for the playoffs. That's awesome. West Springfield, I agree. That's maybe if like you said, if West Po's not, they're the hottest team in football right now. They're coming on too. They're also that team that we talked about in August.
Yeah,
and I think either one or both of us had them as our dark horse to win the region.
Yeah,
and they're now looking like that team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They look like they figured out some things offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. So we have someone said this will be a tight contest. I believe I agree as well. I think it will be a tight contest.
Well,
Now I know.
You think it's
Yeah,
going to be a tight really?
the playoff season is going to be a tight contest all the way
the
through.
playoffs in general, sure.
Yeah, I agree. I did want to address this though, and this is no disrespect to Edison. Congratulations on making the playoffs. But I think this does kind of take the point though is there's a flaw right now though in the PowerPoint system. AC played 7 playoff teams and beat 2 of them. Edison, congratulations in the playoffs. You're playing by the current rules. They only played 3 playoff teams and they didn't beat 1. So I do think though there needs to be a revamping in the playoff system. I think AC definitely deserved again. Like I said, they played an extremely tough schedule.
Well, like you said, Edison would have been in either way. The AC would have been Robinson.
It would have been Robinson, but Robinson also played. I believe they played 7 playoff teams as well.
They had a rogues gallery.
Actually, no, I take that back. I think they played 8 playoff teams.
Yeah, they might have had 8 or 9. Yeah,
8 or 9 playoff teams. And this is not taking anything away from Edison, but I do think there needs to be some kind of revamping, just because of the PowerPoint system was supposed to fix playing tougher teams. Fix if you play a tougher schedule, you're supposed to get rewarded for that, and it just seems like the math isn't mathing.
I agree with you. I think, and like you said, to your point, it takes nothing away from Edison. The issue that you're referring to isn't about Edison. It's bigger than Edison.
Yes,
it's a bigger issue. It's not having to do with them. It's flaws in the points. A lot of flaws everywhere, but flaws in the points, and that's something that it would take a lot of work and a lot of votes to realign the conferences and stuff. Some people don't want to go. Whatever, I get it. But they can adjust the points though pretty easily. Yeah. And you're right. If you're playing a tougher schedule, you need more points for playing better teams. You need less points for playing weaker teams, and that'll solve it.
Yeah, absolutely. We had somebody asking about Patreon games, but we'll get there. We're going region by region. So we're going to stay out here in the C and D, and then we get to B and B towards the end.
To your point, we got a whole show dedicated when the season's over to some of our recommendations. Speaking of recommendations that we have for the VHSL. Look at that. We flipped the recommendations. Now we're the one going to be recommending things. There's a last mandatory use to the current point. Explain that. I don't know what mandatory use means.
So I guess maybe VHSL might be making some adjustments to it. I hope they do. I hope they make some adjustments.
If they do that. If they do, that's amazing.
Yeah. And again, if anybody out there just send them our way, and we'll fix everything. We'll fix absolutely everything.
Mike, we appreciate that. Actually, Mike,
Yeah,
that's good stuff. And if you have information like that, we love hearing that stuff. That's what needs to happen. And because a lot of these things are not, I know something's gonna be fixed. You need vote, and there's a lot of red tape. But that'll never happen. I've heard some teams don't want to move districts and all that kind of stuff, and that's not going to happen. That's fine. But then I think we can adjust the current points, and change that up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. But like I said, whole show dedicated to this topic once the season's over.
Yeah.
All right. 3 seed versus 6 seed, Fairfax and Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon with the big win over Edison last week. Looks. They had the first team all district quarterback and Hunter Grimsley what you may have too is contrasting styles, right? I mean, you got the ground and pound, and this is what Fairfax is built for. November, December, ground and pound. They are bad. They are built. It's gonna be a little cold on Friday.
Yeah,
I mean, this is kind of what they're built for. So I think it's gonna be a tough order for Mount Vernon. But they have some explosive playmakers. I mean, that wide receiver Moret is really good.
He's the real deal for sure.
He's really good, and he had a huge playoff last year against Lake Braddock. Yeah. So Fairfax definitely has their workout cut out for them.
Oh, no doubt about it. Fairfax has a work cut out for him. Because I mean, like we said all season, if you got a quarterback, you got a stud receiver, then you got it's boxing. You got a puncher's chance, Yeah. And so they got a puncher's chance. Now, speaking of punching, and by the way, Friday night's the night of the Mike Tyson fight against that bum Jake Paul. I hope Tyson knocks his block off. But Fairfax, they're kind of. I mean, that's a knockout. That's a team with knockout power. I mean, and not the traditional way, not the bombs in the air. They're gonna knock your teeth out running around.
They got some good old hurting bombs.
They do have some hurting bombs, right? So I'm looking for, and I know Moman, he had surgery. I saw that. Amin Moman. So we wish him well. He looked good. He gave the thumbs up in that picture I saw on social media. So that was awesome. But they got guys. They got the three-headed monster. Even without Moman, they've got some killer running backs.
Could we see Lynch? Could we see Lynch this week?
Got Lynch.
Yeah.
You got the Maltese Falcon.
The Maltese Falcon. Yeah.
I mean, they got dudes, and then Murad's coming on. He had a good game last week.
I think I got that little slot receiver you like a lot.
Yeah, they do. So they got guys. Look out for Fairfax. It'll be interesting to see what happens. It's shaping up to be. It's going to be round 2 is going to be really good. Can't wait.
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna keep on moving. All right, we are headed to Madison, my friend. Madison and Chantilly. So here, Mantry taking his crew against the defense.
Yeah. Last time they played had a pretty tough time with Madison. Now they were coming off just playing Hayfield at the time, so who knows what that how much that affected them. Should be interesting. Mantry's going against one of the best defenses in the state. I mean, truthfully, in the state. So it should be an interesting matchup. But I know Chantilly's not just happy to be there. They're looking to make some noise, and here's your chance, right? You want your shot at the kid. You want your shot at the title. You want your shot. You gotta walk that aisle, right? You gotta walk that aisle.
No, I mean, look. Chance to say here, Mantry had a heck of a game last week.
Yeah.
He looked really good, but now he's going and he's playing Madison.
Yeah. This is where the big boys play.
That's where the big boys play. That defense is legit, but they know it. They've seen them.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna adjust a little bit, right? And see what they can do.
Another rematch. I mean, how many rematches do we have?
Another rematch. You're right. We saw an upset last year it wasn't the 1-8 game. It was 2-7. Right?
It was the 1-8. South Lake was. Oh no, you're right. It was the 2-8. South Lake should have been the 1 seed. Yeah.
It was the 2-7, but it was a big upset. So is there a big upset lurking on Friday night? That's the
Yeah.
question.
Where's the upset lurking at, right?
Right.
So someone's on pressure luck, going no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Hit the stop, and all of a sudden they're gonna get the whammy.
I mean, can they get nicely going? Can they get that offense going? I mean, Madison would probably like to. They won handily last time,
Yeah, they run pretty big last time.
so I'm sure Madison would like to have the early lead, pull guys, right?
Now, interesting enough though is now the Chantilly offense knows what the Madison defense is all about. It's not gonna be a surprise, right?
Right.
I think sometimes when you're playing a team that talented, you think it takes you a minute to kind of adjust and get in the water, and then by the time they probably adjusted, it was too late. Now they know what they're in for, right? If you're on the line, you know what that D lineman feels like when he comes off the ball. If the receivers know what those DBs look like when they're running downfield, that they have an idea. So I think it should be interesting.
Yeah, and I was impressed by the way Chantilly's offense kind of cruised in that game against Oakland. Oakland, that's a tough D, Coach Slay's team,
Yeah,
and they look pretty efficient. So take
yeah,
that
they're
momentum
sharp
to Madison.
for sure. Yeah,
All right, buddy. Well, what I think is the game of the week in this 4-5 matchup, and it's gonna be a good one, buddy. Westfield and Herndon.
yeah. I mean, Herndon looked like looked the real deal last week. I mean, defensively they're playing well, but Westfield on the other side, Coach Foster said, "I want to see us." Continue to get better and be primed and ready for playoffs, and that's exactly what they are right now. Right, they are primed and ready for the playoffs. But Herndon's looking to, the year before, I think they went out in round one.
Right.
Am I right? Last year?
No, not last year. They went to
No,
the second round.
they've gone out in round two each of the last 2 years,
Right.
and they're trying to make that next step to get themselves into a region final. And what an opening round, right? I mean, it's a tough bracket too on that side. 1-4 is a pretty tough side with that being the Westfield Madison side of the bracket. A tough draw for Herndon, but I think defensively, they're pretty physical, and it's gonna be a 12-round fight, between
Right.
those two, kind of trading body blows for it, right? I mean, if you like ground and pound football, this might be the game for you.
So looking back on the top of my head, I think 2 years ago when Herndon kind of declared themselves on the scene, that was the year they lost to Westfield in the first round in the double overtime game.
Yeah.
Okay, they lost in the double overtime, and I watched that game. That game was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was absolutely phenomenal. So this is the rematch of that. That was a double overtime game, if I'm not mistaken. And then last year, Herndon ended up playing McLean in round one. Herndon knocked out McLean, and then lost in round two to Madison.
Madison, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is their chance. Now this is a tough round one game.
Yeah.
You talk about where the big boys play. If you're in this region and you're playing either Westfield or Madison, you're playing the big boys.
Right.
You're playing the big boys. So now can Herndon? I feel like Herndon's going to have to throw the ball, and they did that against Madison in the second half of that game. They had to open up the offense. They're going to need to open up this offense against this tough Westfield defense.
No, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the Herndon offense to score points because they're going to need to score points.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see. That's going to be a fun one. And then but it's the other way too, right? The Westfield offense, they might need to open it up too because that Herndon D can stop the run now.
Yeah.
The Herndon D can stop the run, and Westfield wants to ground and pound.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see that.
We have another comment. VHSL is letting all the regions make their own. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That is if they're doing that, that is, oh, that's awful.
All the regions make their own power rating systems. The question is, like, is there going to be any kind of like guidance or any kind of like, it can't just be the Wild West.
Oh,
you go from a really bad point system to like
everybody make up your own.
Right. You're better off. That's awful. That is awful. You're better off just fixing the one you have instead of reworking the entire thing. But what do we know? We're just we're common sense guys. And actually, I've been thinking about this. It's not common sense anymore, buddy. Look, I'm looking around me at things. We are uncommon sense guys because it's not common anymore. It's not common. Uncommon sense.
Oh, that is.
Man,
Oh,
that's wild. That's wild. Well, Robert, we appreciate that, man. That's good insight. I
yeah,
didn't know about that.
yeah.
It'll be real. Hopefully, at some point they kind of clarify that, and it'd be better if they actually had some kind of like structure there when and guidance to that, and not letting people just kind of completely just make up their own. I don't know. I got
Yeah.
lots to talk about. Lots to talk about in about
Yeah,
a month.
yeah, I agree.
I'm going to invite Robert and Mike back on for more comments when we talk about this next month. All right, moving on. And like I said, 4 or 5 game Westville Hearn. That I think is the game of the week in my opinion. All right, we're going 2-7. Another rematch, and I think this game is a sleeper. I think it's a sleeper. Another bitter rivalry game. W&L and Yorktown.
Yeah, W&L handled Yorktown pretty well again, but the rematch, right? I mean, could this be a Fairfax South County rematch? Remember last year, South County handled Fairfax really easily, and then Fairfax and so right, Fairfax had a veteran coach. I mean, I'm not saying South County, but had a veteran coach who kind of had a plan, and now you have a coach with 300 wins who's coming back in. It's got a chance to take a look at some film and figure out what they did wrong. And now what W&L's ultra talented, they're really good, but to see that crosstown rival again after you handle them pretty well, I mean, I don't know, man. That's a dangerous game for sure.
It is a dangerous game, and it's also dangerous because of who it is.
Yeah.
Hanson's he's no jalopy. Okay.
No.
That's a Hall of Fame coach, and watch that. He was going to break down that W&L game, and like you said, I think Fairfax SoCo is a great comp last year. They got blown out in the regular season, and then they come back and win big in the rematch. Yorktown's also the team that upset South Lakes last year in the same spot, the 7-2 spot.
Yeah, in the exact same spot.
Because you know why?
Exactly.
They hung under the ring, waited for some people to kind of turn their back to them in the Royal Rumble, and they popped up with a steel chair. I'm telling you, don't turn your back on Yorktown. Yorktown will surprise you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a dangerous matchup for you.
Yeah. So another one to keep an eye on. All right, and another rematch in the 3-6 game. Another rematch. Langley, Marshall. Marshall had the big win earlier in the season.
Yeah. I mean, now it's dangerous for now. You had the loss. You kind of learn from the loss. They'll be making some corrections on that. But you figure there's a team they didn't want to see. That may be the team they didn't want to see, right? I mean, I think a lot of teams were like, I hope we don't get those guys. Dang it, we got those guys. And now Marshall in their head, they're like, you know what, we had some stumbles in the road, but now we got those guys. We know we can beat them because we've done it before, right?
Right. And I mean, I feel like Langley the second time, that's a really well-coached Langley team. And even if I had beaten Langley the first time I played him, I wouldn't want to play Langley again.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, no, but I think it's an interesting matchup between the two. Just because,
Sure.
the one team that the one of the upper echelon teams that Marshall was able to get was Langley.
Right.
And so now they have some confidence going into that game. It's a little different where this is the only matchup where the lower seed had beaten the higher seed. The other ones it's flipped, right? The higher seed had beaten the lower seed.
Right.
This is the one where the lower seed actually beat the higher seed.
And this was the marquee game. This was the game that put Marshall on the map earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They won this game. I threw on my cowboy hat. I had the lasso. I got really excited. I mean, this was the game that kind of made everyone go, "Ooh, look at what Marshall's doing." Now they've kind of cooled off a little bit.
Yeah.
They've cooled off a little bit, where I feel like Langley's stronger than ever. We'll see what happens here. If Langley can shut down, we were talking about this earlier in some of the other games. If you shut down Marshall's run game, now it's because that's a good run game, but if you shut it down, can they open it up?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Can they make that switch? Can they make
Right.
that switch? But this may be a low scoring game. I have a feeling that I would bet the under on this game. Right, playoff, get a little more conservative.
Yep.
I think I might bet the under on this game.
You take all your light blue Monopoly bills, all your fives, and you MGM and you go under, huh?
Are the fives light blue? Is that what that is?
Remember, the fives are definitely a low number in Monopoly cash.
Yeah, I know they're low, but I'm curious what color. Are they five?
I don't remember.
I know the ones are white. I know the
I think fives are light blue. I think they are
yeah, and I know the hundreds are
yellow,
yellow,
and the 500s are orange.
orange. Yeah. Oh yeah. What are the fives? What are the
I think
fives?
they're light blue, dude. All right. Moving on. We're going out west, my friend. We got some heavyweight battles out here. Battlefield, Garfield in round one. That's a good game.
Yeah. Garfield definitely not. Definitely was not. This is not the position they thought they were gonna be in. But Garfield has shown that they can play with some really good defenses. That being said, well, I said that Madison may have one of the best defenses in the in the area. Battlefield may be the best defense in the area.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
oddly enough, I think there's a lot of pressure on Battlefield. I think there's a ton of pressure on Battlefield because another undefeated season. They've won their district again, but when was the last time they made the state semifinal? When's the last time they got there? I think there's pressure on them, and I mean, where there shouldn't be when you're the 1 seed playing the 8 seed. There's no pressure, but I think there is some pressure on them to make their way through the region.
And Garfield, we know about the young town over there. They're explosive. They're bringing. That's a good 8 seed. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
I'd probably put that 8 seed against a lot of other 8 seeds.
Oh yeah. Oh
Right?
yeah. Yeah. The region B, I'd imagine might be the most difficult region. Out of the 3 regions, I think Region B is probably the most difficult, just because. I mean, Garfield's the 8 seed. I mean that's wild. Oh, oh wow. I was unaware. Wow. When did that happen, Mike? When did that go down?
Yeah, that's if that's the case. Yeah, you hate to see stuff like that, and you don't know without knowing any details. I know Mike's the guy, and Mike knows his stuff when it comes to like the VHSL. Um, that would be awful.
Oh, well, wow. That makes that region really wow.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah,
I went on his social media. There's nothing on social media.
nothing on there.
Yeah, look at Robert. No one in Region B has less than 7. Well, yeah, it's ridiculous how good that region is. It's out of control.
Oh, first half of the Patriot game. Okay.
Oof.
All right. Well. If that's true, I mean,
That's a game changer. If that's true.
Now,
let's hope he.
luckily for
Speaking of
them,
Mr. Miyagi, let's hope he can do the thing and get better.
luckily for them though, they lean on that defense, right?
Yeah.
Can a defensive team take you to the promised land? That's going to be the big question.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. And
Yeah.
and like you said, let's hope. You never know, right? Daniel LaRusso's going to fight, that kind of thing. Let's hope, he's going to be okay and he can play, even though that sounds really bad. All right, moving on.
The 5s are pink.
5s are piece son of a gun. There's a light blue one.
It is the 50s.
The 50s. Okay, it has a 5 in it. See,
It's not a 5 though. So next time you ask me, next time you're like, can I borrow $50 and give you a 5? It's the same thing.
All right, 4-5. Another great 4-5 matchups. Man, they came to play. Gainesville and Patriot.
Now our understanding is that Jackson McCarter's not playing. I watched that game and he took over that game in the second half.
When they
now that he's gone, now that he's gone, I mean, is there blood in the water for Gainesville? Is Gainesville like, this is the time we can finally get over on Patriot and get over that hump? That should be really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about if the story about the quarterback is true, and then you got the running back here. I mean, you talk about a conference that was just living the good life and top heavy to
Yeah.
be depleted this late in the season is a real bummer. Um, yeah, look, Gainesville's got all those weapons. You and I were talking about this the other day. I think Gainesville was kind of our preseason. Yeah, I had 3 other starters out. Yeah, I did hear that. But Gainesville was our sleeper. You know, we
Yeah.
thought they could pull. They would win this conference, and this is their chance. Like you said,
Yeah.
you got some guys out for Patriot. This is your chance to eliminate Patriot. You know, be done with that and move on to the next.
Yeah. So I mean, this is their chance. You know, they've gone self to a 4 seed. You know, I'm sure that they've not a season that Gainesville thought this was probably going to be the year that they were going to be able to get over the top. They lost those 2 games, but now the 2 teams that you played, it sounds like you have a wounded Battlefield team, and now you have a wounded Patriot team. Is this their chance to at full strength to get past them? I mean,
Gainesville coming out and take a
yeah,
healthy Gainesville team. This is your chance, Colton Kilmer
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
company. This is your
yeah.
chance. You got
COVID Smith out there. Yeah,
Smith, Kilmer. This is your shot. Seize the day. Carpet diem. Seize the day. He said,
yeah.
"Let's go. Let's go."
And they handled. I believe they played Garfield. They handled them pretty
They
well.
did. They
You know,
did.
so they've beaten up on the teams out here, and the 2 teams that were able to get them now look like they're not full strength. So I mean,
No.
who knows? They could have gone from a team that was like, well, the other teams are better, to being like they've got a real chance to win the region.
Now, speaking of seize the day, if you're Patriot, Knutson, I mean, really good quarterback play all season long. Put the team on your back. Let's go, baby. Let's go. This is one for the books, right? One for the books.
We got something about Gainesville's ability to provide explosive plays that could really test Patriots defense, players that are not. If you want to make a statement, at least in my eyes, you have to take advantage of it. Yeah. I mean, this is Gainesville's shot. Those 2 teams are wounded. This is their shot. They're on that side of the bracket. They're on that side of the bracket too. So they're gonna play Patriot. If they get past Patriot, they then play the winner of Garfield and Battlefield.
What a rose gallery that is. They can pull this off. That's wild.
Although what a bracket on that side, man. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, that's going to be a fun one. Another great 4-5 matchup. All right, buddy. Well, we go 2-7. We go North Stafford, another team we've talked about a lot this year, and Woodbridge.
Yeah. I know you liked Woodbridge. You bought some Woodbridge stock early.
I did.
You got some returns on that. I went to go watch a Woodbridge game, and then they treated me well. Now, we don't know a lot about North Stafford. They're supposed to be really good.
They're really good. That's what we do know.
They're supposed to be pretty good. It should be a good matchup, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We haven't got a chance to really see it again.
That's going to tell you a lot, right? It'll tell you a lot.
Yeah.
About those Stafford teams, right?
Yeah.
Woodbridge, a solid 7 seed, right?
Yeah.
And let's see how they hold. They can hold their own against this top tier.
Yeah.
North Stafford team everyone's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That like I said, that Woodbridge team, they're not a bunch of palookas. That's a tough team. So let's see how they do. Let's see how they do in that one.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last one, again, teams we don't normally cover, a little bit out of our jurisdiction, as they say. Stafford and Colonial Forge.
I think I have seen Colonial Forge play, and I remember them being pretty good. I don't know a lot about Stafford. And what is the matchup again? It's a 3-6.
3-6. Yeah, it's a 3-6.
Who's the 3?
Stafford.
Stafford. Okay, so my guess is they're pretty good.
Yeah.
The problem with this right now is with this region is that we just didn't cover the Stafford area. Not that we dislike the Stafford area at all. It's just there are a lot of teams to cover.
But what makes it fun? What makes it fun when you see it? It's going to be outside of Woodbridge, but they're the 7 seed, so odds are just the odds that they don't come out of those 4 between the 2-7 and 3-6. You're going to see a PW team play one of these Stafford teams probably.
Yeah.
And that's going to be kind of fun to
watch.
watch.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. The way that works is if If Woodbridge loses, it'll be Stafford on one side. It'll probably be PW on the other side, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I said. Stafford on one side,
Oh,
and then
PW on
right
PW on the other.
the one's going to play the 4,
Yeah.
and then 2 and the 3. If it goes chalk, I mean.
Yeah.
Man, so good stuff, man, all the way through, man. I mean, all 3 brackets look phenomenal.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Which 8 seed do you think has the best chance to win?
Great question. Looking at all the 8 seeds.
Also, anybody watching right now, if I'm curious, and you guys out there, which 8 seed do you think has the best chance at winning? Which 8 seed do you think has the best chance of winning? And the 3 8 seeds are Robinson. Who's the 8 seed in
Garfield?
Garfield, and who's the 8 seed in Chantilly?
I got my answer. Easy. Garfield.
Easy?
Garfield.
Easy.
Not that they win easy. The answer to the question was easy for me. It was Garfield.
You know what?
Yeah.
And
100%. Garfield's already proven that if the opportunity's there, what happened when McCarter was out and they played Patriot?
Yeah.
They seized it. Now, if there's some injury issues, according to Mike and some of these guys.
Jimmy's got Garfield. Jimmy's got Garfield.
I agree with Jimmy. I agree with him. I tell you what, because they did it already once before. If they have injury problems at Battlefield as well, I don't know if they do, but if they do, according to what some of these guys are saying, then Garfield's already shown you they'll take advantage of that.
Because our format is we have to not pick the same team. I'll go Robo.
They almost pulled the upset last week.
They almost pulled the upset last week. They're probably gonna have a and again, we're talking about which one we think has the best chance to winning. If I had to lay money, I'm not laying money on any of the 8 seeds. And
if you had to lay some of those light blue, Monopoly dollars,
light blue 50s. But I think I'm going Robo. So that's it, hundreds. One guy's going Garfield. I guess Garfield is the consensus number one. As
Garfield reminds me of with them winning that last one when McCarter was out, and now having this game. It reminds me of watching. I've been watching some old WWF. Bret Hart. If Bret Hart knew you had like a bad ankle or a bad knee, Bret Hart would attack. He would attack that leg, get it ready for the sharpshooter. I feel like Garfield's coming in. And, they're going to attack that knee and attack the leg, and then they're going to put you in that sharpshooter late in the match, and you're going to tap out. I feel like, watch out for Garfield.
Didn't Ric Flair do that before he put the figure 4 on you?
Flair did it too. I'm a Bret Hart guy, though.
Yeah,
didn't have great.
More than Ric Flair? More, huh?
Yeah, more than Ric Flair.
I don't know.
Not as Mike skills. I mean, Flair was one of the best.
Flair was
that's what I'm
really
saying.
Entertaining in the ring. I'm not just talking about his Mike skills.
Bret Hart was the excellence of execution.
Oh, Ric Flair would go. He was 60 minutes. 60 minutes he'd go.
So was Hart. You ever watch that Hart versus Stone Cold match?
I know you're wrong. I mean, it's one or the other, but I just come on, man. Ric Flair.
Hang on a second.
Oh, well, apparently I'm on my own here. Anybody here want to co-host with me? Anybody here? Garfield's gonna have to score more than 14 points out of shot. Yeah, that's the other thing is that the amount of.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Okay,
you are a fan.
The excellence of execution, my friend. Come on, man. You didn't think I was pulling out the Bret Hart autograph, did you?
I did not think you were pulling out the Bret Hart.
I had to. It's fantastic. I had to. So I'm looking at it. It's right across from me. I'm looking at it.
Saran says that he can co-host.
15 points to have a shot, and nobody has done that yet against. You're right. The Battlefield D. You're right.
That's probably the only thing that's in Battlefield's favor if O'Shea's not playing, is that defense is really good. It's really
yes, it is. All right, buddy. Well, we are not done. This is what everyone's waiting for. We got almost 300 people watching right now, and they weren't watching for the playoff breakdown. They're watching for the most coveted the most respected awards in the state of Virginia
that they did not know was going to happen.
that they did not know it was going to happen. We are getting ready to give the All Hitches Conference Awards, guys. Let me tell you something. You remember Madden? Madden would give you like the All Madden Award, and it'd be like an iron or something.
Yeah.
We need to find some kind of like real tough thing to give that out. That's maybe a thimble or something.
A thimble. how about a
Monopoly
$1 gift card to Celebrity Deli so you can go and put that towards getting a Dash and Dan.
You know what? And I mean, to your point, the All Hitches, All Conference District Awards brought to you by Celebrity Deli. Right?
Yes.
Because I mean, like we said before, no one packs it on like you after you go to Celebrity Deli. Right?
Yeah.
Except these players when they're freaking
No. So our awards, there'll be a defensive player, offensive player, and a coach of the year.
From
That's cool.
each conference, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's start it off. Let's start off in the national regular season offensive player of the year. Who do we got, sir?
You got Jeffrey Overton. Jeffrey Overton. Yeah, he was. I mean, to watch him play against Riverdale Baptist, and Riverdale Baptist being phenomenal.
Right.
He was obviously on another level. You know, he was really impressive. I mean, just tough. He's a tough tackle. I mean, we got to watch him against West Springfield. I mean, just explosive player. Yeah, he was the star. He was the straw that stirred the drink over there, and they were loaded. You know, we actually had a debate over who we're going to take. You know, I like Isaiah French a lot. I do. I think he's a really talented quarterback.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, the best player on that team was Jeffrey Overton.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, he was a stud. And well, I got a point to make about these guys, and then let's name the defensive player first.
Yeah.
And then I'll get to a point that I want to make. Defensive player, and you loved them all year.
Yeah, I did.
From Hayfield, who do you got?
Ian Hall. I mean, just play the run, play the pass. I mean, just dynamic, long, strong. You know, he was Navy guy. You know, yeah, I was really impressed with his play all year defensively.
Oh yeah, and so the point I wanted to make on these guys, and I'm not going to rehash any of the stuff that's kind of behind us now with all the controversy and all that stuff, but no matter what would have happened with the VHSL or anything else, right? Overton would have been his dad works at the school. He would have been at Hayfield no matter what. No matter what, he would have been there. And then Ian Hall was already at Hayfield.
Yes, he was a Hayfield kid, right?
Those two guys would have been there no matter what.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah.
All right. So congratulations to young Jeffrey Overton and Ian Hall, the National Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. Now, we're not done. The National. Look at you. You're beaming. Look at you. You're going to hold back the smile. You guys are going to understand why he's smiling in a second. This son of a gun. The National Conference Coach of the Year. Who was it, Coach Mesa?
It's Coach Coogan at a Falls Church.
Yes.
At a Falls Church. Yeah. I mean, he really did well. Improved, I think, 2 more wins than they had the year before. Really competitive. I mean, I think they probably could have won another game here or there. I mean, they
right.
and they were in the playoff hunt right to the very end. I mean, you know, to take a Falls Church team that really struggled at the very end. I mean, barely won their last game 2-0. To have them where they were at. He deserves all the flowers, man. Definitely a Coach of the Year.
Yeah, congratulations.
And it's not just me trying to get a coaching job over at Falls Church. It is
Yeah, no. I mean, Coach Coogan, that's a guy. Man. He did a hell of a job. Like you said, that was almost a 200% improvement off the year before.
Yeah.
And a lot more scoring offensively.
Yeah.
Right. And the man loves Celebrity Deli. So how fitting is that the man who loves Celebrity Deli wins the Celebrity Deli All-Conference Award? He can't be.
Yeah. So congratulations, Coach Coogan.
All right. Moving on to the Patriot. Moving on to the Patriot. And for Offensive Player of the Year, Patriot.
It is the running back out of AC.
D'Angelo Diarte.
Yeah.
Yeah, D'Angelo Diarte.
Yeah, I mean he was a big reason for all. I mean he was for a while he was it. He was what you focused on, and he was still just churning up yards. I mean I mean to take a team that was 0-10 to where they were at was a huge improvement, for them offensively, and we thought there were some other deserving players. But I don't know if there was any player where you're like, that's the guy we got to focus on, just him, and he was still able to get the job done.
Yeah, D'Angelo Duarte was a stud. I mean, you talked about winning percentage and increase. 0-10 team, right, to 3-7. Could have been even. They could have played a bunch of cupcakes, and they could have had. They could have been a 5 or 6 win team.
Yeah.
So 300% increase in wins and losses for him behind him, and then powerful running. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Defensive Player of the Year in the Patriot Conference, Trent Payne.
Yeah, he was the best defensive player. I mean, he won the district award. I mean, I think he was undeniable defensively. I mean, he was just a terror up front. All the coaches raved about him. Every time we watched him on film, he was legit. He's definitely deserving of the award this year.
Oh, I mean, he was so good, man. Just a stud all year long. You try and they score points. You try and throw on him, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, the man was like doing the Mark Gastineau sack dance.
Yeah.
All right, Patriot Coach of the Year. Who do you got, Mason?
Our Coach of the Year goes to the head coach at Alexandria City, Coach Hughes. Coach Hughes.
Yeah, man.
I mean, to go from 0-10 to playing for a playoff berth the next year. I mean, I don't know how you can deny that guy. I mean, what a turnaround he had there at AC. Like I said, he played 7 playoff teams and knocked off 2. If I don't know how you argue. I mean, we have phenomenal coaching. There's phenomenal coaching in the Patriot, but for him to turn around like that, is a testament to him.
Yeah. Again, we said it. 300% increase in wins. That's impressive.
Yeah.
All right. Go on to Liberty. We're going to Liberty. It was a battle every week in Liberty. Offensive Player of the Year, quarterback WNL Abramson.
Yeah. He stepped into a role. First year starter, and was able to really just kind of slice and dice people up all year. I mean, he was really impressive.
Yeah, and you graduated a stud quarterback in Jami. You think, hey, what are we going to do? We got this new guy, and he comes in and really they didn't skip a beat.
No. Yeah, undefeated, right? Led an undefeated team on an explosive offense at that too, right?
All right, Defensive Player of the Year in Liberty. Helping make that Josh Richards Herndon D work. Braden Humphreys.
Yeah, I mean he had a great year this year. He's one of the best defensive players probably in the area. On one of the better defensive units in the Liberty.
Oh yeah, stud, absolute stud, and he played offense too. I mean, and he would have been on the finalist list for offense. That's how good he was.
Yeah.
All right. Coach of the Year. This is another good one.
This is your guy. You've been.
This guy did it. This guy stepped up. Adversity hit this team, and this guy stepped up. Coach of the Year in Liberty. We're really proud of this guy and the way the kids rallied around him. Coach Pottinger at Langley.
Yeah, I mean, for to have to step into that role and be able to rally that team to almost a district championship. I mean, I don't know. I don't know a lot of coaches who could have done that. That's a pretty difficult situation.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing what he did over there, and then with the kids rallying around him.
Yeah,
you got to love the way they rallied.
And they didn't skip a beat either.
Right. All right, Concord. And this is going to be the 1-2 punch right here. The 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year in Concord, Madison Dominic Nicely.
Yeah, it could have gone to a few players. Duda at a Westfield, one of the better players. But Dominic Nicely was just, explosive. He one of the best offensive players in the state. I don't think that's deniable at all. And much like they have other pieces around him at Madison, but every week the game plan is probably to stop him first, and for him to have the year he had is just impressive.
He did everything. You name it,
Yeah,
he did everything.
yeah.
All right. Defensively, in the Concord, Player of the Year, Ambrose, linebacker Madison.
Yeah, I mean, on the best D, he's probably the standout player on that defense, playing linebacker in that system. Week in, week out, just solid player. We were really impressed with how he played defensively, and yeah, congratulations to him.
That was stud. That's like watching
Yeah.
Urlacher out there watching that guy. Every week, Madison game ends, and I see him holding the championship belt.
Yeah.
With the construction hat and all the Madison pictures every week. This guy,
yeah.
Absolute stud. All right, and Coach of the Year. Look at you smiling.
Another one of your guys, though.
Yeah, buddy. This guy, proud of him. I mean, again, a 1-9 team. A 1-9 team. Job that a lot of people didn't know. Do I want that? Would I want that job? It's a tough job. Do I? This guy went in there and took everyone by storm. Coach Slay at Oakton, Coach of the Year in Concord.
Yeah, I mean, what a turnaround over there, right? What a turnaround, and to be, 4 quarters away from a playoff berth. I mean, who would have thought? I'm sure, coming in, no one thought that turnaround would be that quick, and it was.
Yeah, outstanding. Proud of Coach Slay and everything they did at Oakton this year. All right, we're moving out west. One last time, moving out west to Cardinal. Offensive Player of the Year, and he's not here right now, the incomparable Adam Schefter of Nova, Carl Frederick. But I know that if Carl Frederick could adopt any player, if he could adopt any player in all of Nova, this is the man he would adopt. He loves this young man. Landon Hunt, congratulations.
Yeah. I mean, what he had another really good year. Just a great back, and if you watch any of his games, he was definitely another guy that everybody focused on, and so his job was hard week in and week out, and he was able to get the job done.
Yeah, he's absolutely stud. He just picked up an offer just the other day.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's more coming for that young man. More coming.
Yeah.
Congratulations. All right. Defensive Player of the Year in Cardinal. Young Mr. James Blacker from Garfield. Outstanding.
Yeah. I mean, he's a two-way player, but I thought defensively, he was definitely a lockdown guy out there. Played really well on an up-and-coming team. So he played very well this year.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, every week, every win they had, I felt like he made a big play.
Yeah. Always a highlight of him somewhere doing something right.
Right, Mr.
Yeah.
Highlight.
Yeah.
All right, and in Cardinal, Coach of the Year, Woodbridge's own Coach Longerbeam.
Yeah, I mean, what a turnaround! I think they were a 3-win team last year to winning the Cardinal. I mean, to go from where they were at to winning the Cardinal, getting those little playoffs. I mean, big kudos to him and what they were able to do at Woodbridge High School.
Yeah, that's an impressive turnaround over there at Woodbridge, man. Coach Longerbeam, congratulations to those guys. All right, and rounding things off, Cedar Run, Offensive Player of the Year, and it's fitting, so hopefully, this young man is doing okay.
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year, Callum O'Shea from Battlefield.
Yeah, I mean the games I got to watch him too live against Woodbridge, and man, he is explosive. He's an explosive athlete. I mean, hopefully he's okay. If he's out, but hopefully not. But no, he was the best offensive player, offensive on the best team in the Cedar Run.
Yeah. He was a straw that stirred the drink on that offense.
Yeah, for sure.
And much like Madison, where they had the 1-2 punch with Nicely and Ambrose, Cedar Run, very fitting. Their Defensive Player of the Year, another battlefield player who really dominated that conference. Young Mr. Binkowski.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a chance to watch that kid up folks, I mean, he's just a terror. He's just a nightmare to deal with. I mean, I don't know a lot of high school tackles that they're going to be able to block him. And now, if they're missing O'Shea, I mean, they're going to need him. They're going to need that defense to dominate, and they're going to need him especially to make plays. So, but no, he was incredible this year.
Oh yeah,
on a defense that's loaded, right? I mean, we could have gone with the corner that they had, who's going to
Goodson,
going to Pitt, but
right.
Binkowski is just a nightmare up front.
Yeah, no doubt. And finally, Coach of the Year in Cedar Run, Osborne's Mike Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, what a turnaround for them. 5-win team. Excellent job this year. Definitely has turned that program around.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, they, especially the first half of the year. I mean, it was just kind of, they had a couple. They made our game of the week a couple times. Our Fab Five. I mean, they really did some special things there. Keep building that. Take a bow.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, there it is. The inaugural Celebrity Deli All Hitches All Conference Players of the Year, Coach Mesa.
Yeah, congratulations to everybody. Yeah, I mean, you thought getting all district was impressive. You got the all hitches.
Yeah, you got the all hitches. That's way better than all district because you celebrate here. You go get a sandwich. You get a giant sandwich. Yeah, I mean, that's how a real man celebrates, with a sandwich.
Yeah.
Nice and loaded. So, you take a bite, little mustard spills on your shirt. That's what real guys do. Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Well, buddy, it's been another fun one, man. Another fun one. I don't know how people feel about those picks. I know we got close to 400 people or so on the live. And comments, concerns on those picks. I thought those were solid all conference selections there.
I do as well. Yeah, I'm surprised no comments there. So nobody.
Yeah. I think we kind of nailed it. I mean, across the board, whether we had the underdogs in there, we had some favorites in there, and then we had some kind of in between.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we did a good job recognizing those who should be recognized. But no comments or anything. I thought for sure someone would throw something out there and be like, oh, I can't believe you didn't name this guy or name that guy. But I guess not. I guess our picks are perfect. I guess
that's what it means, my friend. You know what it means? It means just like the excellence of execution, our picks were excellently executed.
Yeah, I guess so.
And just so you know, I got a wall full of these guys. I mean, I got Larry Holmes. I got a Julio Cesar Chavez. Just random. Some of my random favorites in different sports. Autographs and stuff. And
can't go wrong with Trent Payne. Yeah, I agree. Cannot go wrong with Trent Payne.
No, can't go wrong with Trent Payne. You kidding me?
Yeah.
He's a monster. You said it best.
We probably won't get on here. Have you watched the Netflix pre-documentary on Tyson and Jake Paul?
It was on the other day. I did not watch it. I started watching. I'm trying to finish the Vince McMahon thing.
It was the first time I'm like, Mike Tyson's gonna lose. He's 50. He's 58 years old.
He looks like $1 million. You see him?
He does, but he's 58 years old.
Oh man, it's gonna be
trust me. I want Mike Tyson to win so bad. I want to see Mike Tyson when I was 12 walk in the ring, black trunks, no robe, and just devastate that guy. Because I can't stand
the cut off towel over the head.
I can't stand that guy because he keeps on saying like, I don't know. I prove you need to fight a boxer. You need to do that. That being said, when they were like Mike Tyson's 58 years old, I'm like, oh man, he's gonna lose. What am I thinking? What am I? I need to know. Can you name anybody else when they were almost 58 years old being successful against a guy who was, what's he, like 28?
Yeah, actually I can. Bernard Hopkins was, that last time he won a title, he was like 50 something years old.
Yeah, he was 8 years younger than Mike Tyson is right now.
I know, but 50 is still impressive. Yeah, it's rough, man. I just gotta hope that Tyson can take him out. I'm worried too. I don't want this loser to ruin one of my childhood. And I know Tyson had the issues and a bad guy, but in terms of just the sport of it all, as a kid, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, watching Mike Tyson, I was such a big fan. I hope he destroys that punk. I can't stand that kid.
Yeah, but he's not. He's I,
And I think we're
if
in the
he,
minority. I think we're in the minority. I think a lot of the young people like that Jake Paul guy. I think, and if they do,
for
you gotta.
form George Foreman was like 45.
Yeah, you're talking about when he beat Michael Moore. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what giving home. George Foreman was 20 years younger than Mike or 13 years younger than Mike Tyson is right now.
it's crazy. Yeah, he was in his 40s. Yeah,
And then 2 fights later, he just gets pummeled. Remember, his face is so swollen. Was it a? It was a
Tommy Morrison fight.
Tommy
Yeah,
Gunn.
Tommy Gunn.
Yeah, yeah, it's Tommy
Yeah.
Morrison. Like, uh,
How many people at the games on Friday night, because it's Netflix, are going to have the game on their, on Netflix streaming? Or not the
yeah.
game. They're going to have the match on their Netflix streaming while they're watching the games.
The only way I can see Tyson winning is in the first 3 rounds if he catches him, because he
Yeah.
still hits. He still hits like a freight train.
Yeah.
It's still a mule kick. If he catches him,
He hits so hard. It's like a mule kick. That was Razor Ruddock. Razor Ruddock hit hard like a mule kick.
uh, yeah, I don't see it. I wish I could. I really wish I could. I can't. Now, what I'm really afraid of, because I am living in a world now where I don't believe anything's real anymore, is that it's already been scripted.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the Jake Paul fight against Mayweather. It was Jake Paul or his brother. I don't know. But when he fought Mayweather, he was holding him up and stuff. So who knows, man?
Well, I really bring that up. Do you the one thing about the Mayweather thing is I know he saw him, he caught him, and it
Yeah.
looked like he was going to go to the ground, and he grabs him
They held him
and he
up.
holds him up long enough to where he can like shake the cobwebs out.
Yes. But you can't.
So,
But if Tyson catches you, you're not going to be able to hold him up.
well, Mike Tyson's a pretty strong guy.
Yeah, if Tyson catches him, he's done. Fight's over.
Yeah. Well, I just got to let go of my youth. I got to
I'm
realize
surprised
that
it's a Friday night fight. I thought it'd be a Saturday fight.
that's
Friday night's-
weird.
Friday
That
night's
is weird.
And 8 p.m. is weird. Usually it's like at 10 or 11.
But they're fighting internationally, aren't they?
No,
Oh no, it's in Texas.
They're in Texas. Vegas or Texas?
So it's gonna be like a 6 o'clock fight. How weird. That is weird.
It's really weird.
Anyway,
It's really weird.
all right.
Well, buddy, it's gonna you got the great playoff games. You got Mike Tyson fighting. Never thought I'd say that at my age. You got Mike Tyson fighting on Friday night. What a Friday night is gonna be.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll be here all to recap it.
That's right.
Here all to recap it.
Yeah, next show we'll be here talking about it, breaking it down, and getting ready for round 2.
Getting for round 2, and then there were 4, 8, 12. There'll be 12 teams left.
Well, one step at a time. We got to deal with this round 1, and let's see if there's any upset. We predicted our 8 seed upset, if it's going to happen. At least we said that's the most likely one.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. It's going to be a fun night, buddy.
Yeah, it should be.
All right. Well, from Coach Mesa. Oh, by the way, and we didn't say it. We still got a lot of people. Subscribe. If you're watching this and you're one of almost 400 people a second ago when I looked, if you're one of almost 400 people watching this, that's not hard to do. Go to the YouTube channel, go to the Apple, go to the Spotify, go to all 3, actually. Go to all 3 and subscribe.
Yeah.
It'd be a great thing. It'd be a great thing to do. That's you giving to us. Holiday season. We give to you, you give to us.
Yeah,
That's the way
I agree.
it works, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that being said, from Coach Mesa and Coach Dash, thanks for joining us at All Hitches. See you next week.
See ya.